What's up, guys? Sam Taggart here, and I help scale sales companies faster than anyone else I know. And we've done this for 8 years, from sales training, recruiting, to leadership and business development. And what's so fun is on social media, a lot of times I like to engage, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't get to see everybody in every place in the world. And what's fun is I have a few responses to a question I asked. I said, hey, let's ask Sam a question. And so if you're somebody that's like, hey, I have a dying question, you have some insight to the industry that many people don't have, because we've consulted over, 400 companies personally. We've probably helped 5,000 companies and 60,000 salespeople in probably 40 different industries at this point, and been doing this a long time. And for anybody that's like looking to develop and looking to grow, looking to scale their team, whatever that is, I promise you I can help and serve. And that's where this whole Ask Sam concept came up. So if you go to Instagram, DM a question, or comment on here a question, you might be part of the next episode. And we'd love to be able to help and serve you and give back to our community and followers. Let's start with the first one, which is a really big thing. So when I first started making content was actually in 2017. But before that, I started making videos for Vivint in 2013 and 14. I was a #1 sales rep at Vivint, and I figured I'd start a Facebook group, and we called it Can't Knock This. Now it's called the D2D Sales Tribe community on Facebook, and it has over 20-something thousand members. If you do not have access to that, go join our Facebook community. It's an awesome place to also query questions and communicate. And so go jump in our community. But it actually started when I was at Vivint, and I started posting videos of sales tips, tricks to share best practices. And I call other top salespeople and I'd say, hey, will you share best tips and tricks? And then their legal team was like, you need to take that down. And I was like, what the heck? It's social media, it's freedom of press. And I said, well, what the freak? So the question is, are these social media posts bad and backdoor interactions hurting the industry? Well, if you go back to 2013, 14 with Vivint's legal team, they would say, heck yes, it is. And the reason I'm going to say it from two angles. And I then left Vivint and I said, okay, I'm going to start just posting because I have nobody telling me I can or I can't, freedom of speech. And I wanted to create this community. So I was really the first to start posting me in the field, going out and consulting, going out and training, and live sales pitches, because before that, everybody thought, okay, if I expose this, I could technically hurt the company, which is very true. Meaning that is true evidence of deceptive sales practice, or construed in the wrong light, or sound bites taken in a wrong setting. So take like Adam Shantz. He got pinged by 2020 back in, forever ago, where they did a hidden camera, candid camera, fake customer. They set it up a trap and they said, we're going to watch his pitch, and they go put it on national television. Fathom that. You're some dude just out there knocking. Now you're on national television of 2020 and you're in there deceiving customers. And what's risky about posting stuff on social media is that portrayal of being construed in the wrong context. And that does hurt from a consumer standpoint of saying, hey, how does this look when you're showing these deceptions or tricks or this or that? And how does that brand our business? So you're a salesperson, you're posting freedom of speech, it's your social media. The question you got to ask yourself is, how am I representing my company? Because I've actually seen companies have to fire salespeople because they're like, the law and the lawsuit says if we don't fire you, we're going to sue you for $500,000, $1 million, millions of dollars, because we're going to assume this is how you train your people. And they don't have to fire the salesperson in demonstration of, no, that's not how we are as a business. That's how we actually, we don't tolerate that. And it's just clear blanket evidence that you have on social media that they can use against you. So that being said, there is a fun element in social and recruiting and that element to this. And so when you post, you just have to caution yourself of, am I towing any line? Am I crossing any boundaries of lying, deceiving, or is it comical? Is it just obviously like fun and jokes? Is it obviously legit and honest with integrity? Is it going to represent, and if my mom saw this, am I going to feel shamed or guilty sharing this with somebody? And I think this is where door-to-door sales can get a good reputation in the sense of recruiting. And it's like, oh, this is swaggy. These seem like fun people. This is good. Or is it getting a bad representation of I'm taking these people and look at my commissions and look how I'm doing it? And those types of things are what attorney generals and lawyers are looking at to go ping some company and go sue them or go fire some sales reps. So that and I'm saying this with all my mission, which is to unify, up level, bring honor and integrity to the door space. And I've been the first to pioneer actually hitting cameras, posting real customer interactions. And now you see it all over. And we can't ignore the fact that consumers are seeing that because some of these videos are going viral. Just caution yourself of what you're going to post. When does it make sense to transition from being a sales rep to starting my own business? Now, this is a dilemma that a lot of people run into, where what happens is you have this loyalty of man, these people groom me, develop me, they help me. And there's so much power in that. And I would say the only time you transition is when you've learned the lessons you need to learn as a sales rep. Most people try to transition out of greed, they try to transition out of spite, and they have not learned the sales rep lesson, the manager lesson, and the regional lesson that they need to learn in a bigger company or an organization in order to effectively run a proper organization themselves. And so if you have nothing to model that's really good, then you're gonna have a huge uphill battle because you've not developed the characteristics to be a good business owner. So there's different archetypes. There's the manager, there's the inspiration and visionary, there's the data kind of guy that runs a company. So obviously, depending on the type of archetype of a business owner that you are, which the E-Myth is a great book for this, not everybody's out to be a good business owner. So a lot of people, when they go in transition, you look at every great company out there is because they said, I'm going to take myself and start my own company because I learned something here and now I'm ready and inspired to go do my own thing. If you know with eyes open the requirements to go, and nobody's never going to know, but you can assume, how do I have the cash required to go invest into softwares, training, into just personnel, making sure that I have some reserves set aside. Number two, am I somebody that I can know how to lead, delegate, knows how to handle, situations and problem solve? Am I somebody that has the tenacity to maybe go 6 months and never take a paycheck while paying everybody else? Am I able to put it on my back and fund a month's worth of payroll if needed and go sell my way out of some problems? And if I can answer yes to some of these questions, it's yeah, take the jump, try it out. In worst case scenario, you can always go back to go some company and they'll take you and you learn a lot of things. But what a lot of people never do is they never take the leap and they never know for themselves if running a company was up for them. And I would invite a lot of people to take that risk because I've seen so many people that have been pressured into starting a company that now run $100 million companies. And it's who knows where they would be if they always stayed confined to just being the sales rep. So I believe life is about being the creator, about being an innovator, about writing your own ticket. And that is a natural progression eventually for somebody that has aspiring higher goals and wants to create and have that stamp of, I built something, and there's no greater thing than having a stamp on a properly ran, effective, long-lasting company. It's such a cool badge of honor. What would be the best parameters to tell to how to change companies? I found that a key indicator is, have I outpaced my leadership? And if the leadership is not creating any more value by training, developing, pouring in, adding recruits, adding things that are creating a aliveness in my life and energy, then there may be a better place that could. And whether the two directions you go, it could be start my own, like we just talked about in the other one, or it could be go to a culture that more aligns and has better leadership that has more opportunity. And I think too many people, they think they're leaving companies, but they're really leaving leaders. And this is a wake-up call to every leader out there, is when you have a lot of people leaving you, is it because the company's bad, or is it because you haven't poured and you've stopped creating value for them and or an environment that makes it conducive for them to want to stay and be alive? So if you aren't getting the value and or tools and training, ask yourself, is that my issue or is that them issue? What's a good management structure for 3 to 5 salespeople and 8 to 15 door knockers? So to answer this, you actually need 2 types of managers. You need a setter manager and you need a closer manager. And I keep the culture separate. I think this is where people get struggle, is they actually combine the cultures and they think that they're all one thing. But you're asking closers to be carnivores, but they're not carnivores, and you're asking knockers to sit there and hang out with herbivores, but they don't mix. You put a lion in a freaking giraffes den, they go eat the giraffe. So separating them and having daily meetings for your knockers, and then maybe 3 to 4 times a week, maybe 2 to 3 times a week for your closers. But it's monkey see, monkey do. Whoever's leading them needs to be leading from the front and saying, here is what I do, here's what the top people do, here's the pace setting. And if you don't have somebody set or manager pace setting, and you're trying to use a closer or a closer manager that's not actually in the trenches, bleeding in the streets with your people, you're gonna set these door knockers up for failure. So if you want to be helped, or you feel like you have a dying question you want to ask me, love to help you, or D2D Experts is here to support. Feel free to reach out. We've got recruiting training, we've got sales leadership training, sales training in every different industry that you can think of. And we have events happening on a regular basis. So schedule a call with one of our experts and just talk through like these problems instead of just like wait for some social media and hide behind some screen. It's like get involved with what we do. And we have helped more people in the door-to-door space than anyone in the world. And I'd invite you to actually click below and schedule a call. The second thing you could do is on Instagram, DM us a question, and hopefully we can get to that. We have always a lot of needs, and we hope to see if we can add some value to you. If you got some value to this, make sure to hit subscribe. We have tons and tons of videos we've been posting for years to go build your sales team, add more recruits, and scale your company.